Good evening, everyone. It's November the 28th, 2024. Today I'm going to start off with a little bit of laugh, a little bit of a joke on me. Because as I always do, I've been always giving off and on what my viewers have to say. And this one was rather funny because in the video that I put on The Hangover, some of my viewers go back and review some of my other videos, back videos, and she found a blooper. She thought was so funny she brought it to my attention, which I didn't realize I had a little blooper. Nothing serious, but just cute. And this is what she said. Laugh out loud. You said surf couching, not couch surfing. But yes, I'm glad the weapons were intercepted by Gatineau police. Homeless is going to be tough. Mass evictions, etc. But couch surfing was something that, of course, came up that I first heard of as a teenager during the Vietnam War, when the draft dodgers from the States came up here to Canada over the border, and were definitely couch surfing on the on people's couches and getting fed and whatever, because they didn't really belong here, but we kept them anyhow. And but yeah, I can see where this is kind of funny, where couch surfing sounds a lot better rather than surf couching. Using the couch as a surfboard, I could just almost see it, waiting for that next big wave to hit. But it was just a funny little blooper, and I thought I'd share that with you. And I like when people see bloopers that I might make, and I don't always catch it right off the bat either. So I appreciate the humor, and I can certainly laugh at myself. So that's where I wanted to just put that little insight in today, that it's good. Sometimes you really have to laugh at yourself. And that was an interesting little blooper that I made. So I'm going to start today with the housing starts are down here for 2024 here in Ottawa, perhaps up as much as maybe 42%. And can we meet our targets, and what does this mean for 2025 in targets? So this is a rough one. This winter, I don't know where everybody's being housed. I know we're still crowded out in the shelters. We're overflowing. So it's going to be very interesting for this winter as to how this is going to pan out. But every little thing that we do does help. But I can see if, because of the problem with the housing starts and affordable housing and supportive housing is going to be down with all the people that are coming out for renovictions and whatnot, and they can't afford their place and they're having to live wherever they can. That the only thing I can see right now is that the sprung structures at the present may be the only way to go to house a lot of people at once. Not the way anyone would prefer it that way, but it's maybe the way we have to go, is to make sure that everybody's not out in the cold, freezing, and it's a tough go. And the other thing was that the Ottawa Food Bank came on the TV on the news there the other night, and was saying how they're struggling for Christmas to meet the ever increasing demand for food. And it's a scary situation. They're hoping they can meet the demand for Christmas. I know in a few videos back I also mentioned too that they were having to give out, from what I heard, they were giving out less food to people as well. And now they're also saying they may, if they can't keep up the food supply, they may have to even give out less food after New Year's. So that's something that I'm going to be definitely following too. I know it's anyone who can give even a little bit of food, even doesn't have to be much, even 2 or 3 boxes of food will help the food bank. If you can donate like that, that's about all I can do is the small donations. I'm a pensioner, I don't have much, so I try to give just a little bit, whatever I can, because I'm struggling too, like everyone else. But and of course it's down too, because those who gave generously are decreasing all the time too. because they're trying to meet all the financial demands that are on them right now too. So even just a little bit will help to keep some children fed, hopefully. So that's I'm going to be keeping a close eye on as well. And then was also an update from the police in Lower Town here on some of the hot spots that were identified, that things are starting to settle down. However, there are 2 big hot spots in regards to the homeless were identified as still being a major problem with crime. So they're apparently still working on this, but I can tell you that there's been a difference. It's a lot easier to walk around downtown. The people that go around and definitely are cleaning up the garbage are definitely helping. It's much cleaner. The city looks much cleaner. There's still a lot of problems, but you know, I'm not getting harassed, and I think there's fewer people being harassed at the moment, whether it's because they're going indoors too as well. They're not out because, of course, winter's coming, and as you can see, I've got my lights on, and it's pretty discouraging. I don't like winter when it gets dark so early, but we shall survive, and everyone will just have to bear with me. And of course, the other thing I noticed too is that the cameras in our building seem to be deterring the homeless and the addicts from gathering in my building. So it's nice to see that we don't have needles and crack pipes and clothes all over the place and belongings, and they're out cold, and it's nice not to have to walk over bodies, literally, whether they're living or not, and having to check and make sure that they're living or not. That's a relief right now. So that's one good thing. Where these people go, I don't know. Hopefully they survive, but for our safety, it's much better as well. So that's one update on that I have. And I have another update as well on, I've mentioned in a few videos back there, on a family who died crossing our border and froze to death. A family of 4, a mother, father, and 2 small children, when they were just dumped at the United States side of the border and forced to walk in the middle of winter. I think it was in February, and try and get to the nearest town. And of course, they did not make it, obviously, at this point. And the update is that apparently now 2 men were charged for dropping them off and convicted, found guilty, and they're to be sentenced next year. So there's a bit of an update on that from the news. And another big one is another super fentanyl lab busted in BC. And this is the 3rd such lab in a month. And now that makes it 2 in British Columbia now, and 1 in the prairies. And I think that is, I want to talk a little bit about that. That's definitely good, because it means there's definitely less fentanyl and the other drugs that those labs are producing out on the streets. That was what I was talking about when you're talking about enforcement, is being stepped up on this as well. So, and again, this is through our federal police, the RCMP, who've done these busts, and the intel must have been pretty good, but that's a relief. How many more? We don't know yet, if there's any more, but it's definitely going to reduce drugs off the streets here and wherever they're shipping them out of our country. And this is why I'm mentioning it tonight, because I don't usually get into the political things, but I do want to mention this again, because with the incoming former president of the United States coming in, and he's threatening to send immigrants over our borders in Canada here as well as Mexico. You know, I was pleased to hear what the Mexican president had to say. I thought it was very good in the fact that she reminded the incoming president again that we're here to build bridges and not walls, as I've been saying. And that was nice to hear my words being echoed as well. And our government, of course, is stepping up. And the reason he wants to put tariffs on, which is a terrible idea, because it's going to affect all 3 countries if he puts tariffs on. And everyone's going to be suffering terribly, for one thing. So Uh, the Prime Minister here got together with our premiers there yesterday to talk about it, have a united front, and remind him of all the important things that the cross-border trading has done for all our countries in keeping us alive and strong and at least going, and especially after the pandemic, which really hit us hard, hit the world so hard, and all the different trades that when we do world trade, I don't think he gets it, period, just how intricate that it is for all of our survival. So hopefully this works out, and we get things settled on that front too when he does take office. But it could be a real bumpy ride for the next few months, few weeks, few years, till he's possibly out of office again. So we're just going to have to take each day as it comes, but don't be discouraged. There's always hope. And that's where, as I always say, there's always hope, because as long as we stay together, we stay united in a good way, we help each other out the best we can, whether it's, like I said, 1 or 2 boxes, if you can spare 1 or 2 boxes to give to the food bank, please do. But I've seen that, and we're in a much better position than we certainly are in the refugee camps, because that's being hit hard too, because people cannot even donate to the refugee camps. And I always think, when I've done those videos on all those clothing and those winter coats, brand new winter jackets that the homeless here just leave on the street or leave in our stairwells here, that end up in the garbage. When you look at the refugees and they show the pictures of them freezing overseas, what they wouldn't give just to have a nice warm jacket even. So, and the waste that our country goes through, and that's a terrible, terrible waste, and they appreciate it. And even when the refugees come in and they get a warm coat or they get clothing, they appreciate what they get. They just don't go dropping it all over, and it's like the homeless, oh, we can get another one, doesn't matter, type of thing. So it's appreciated, and that's a big thing. And I think even if we do, like I said, we've been changing our immigration policies now, and I know a lot of people are on student visas here and work visas that are due to be renewed in 6 months and don't know where they're standing. Well, I have no idea either where this is going to go, but we had to stop somewhere. We cannot have any more people coming into the country, so we had to stop refugees coming in, unfortunately. Not because we wanted to, but we have to get this housing sorted out for sure. And we don't have any place to put anybody, and obviously all these people are also falling on the streets too with the rest of the homeless, because there was an article where they were on the news the other night where a farmer has all these people on part of our unprotected border going through his farmland and getting into Canada that way as well. But I wouldn't want to try it in the winter. It's very deadly in the winter. I don't know where they end up in the summer, but when they do come over, but he's even worried about just if the coming in president forces all these refugees coming out, is he just going to have a steady stream of people coming across his property rather than just 1, 2 here, which he sees in his little forest, wooded area where he's got cameras settled there so that he can actually observe what's going on his land. So it's been a terrible time. I know it's a long video. I just wanted to update everyone again on where it is, and I just wanted to say that I just hope, because of what's happening with the world today and the crisis that we're in, that we don't forget and put the homeless on the back burner and we forget about them. So I'm just going to do my best to keep everything going and try and update people the best I can. And everyone, take care, be safe, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon, and bye-bye.